Welcome, everybody. It is, what time is it exactly? 6:34 p.m., Sunday, March 17th. And I am here with you guys for just about an hour. Just going to shoot for an hour. And then tonight, I'm going to stay up and play a little bit of the Division 2. That is my goal. That is my plan for tonight. I've been playing it quite a bit in the past couple days since it came out. By quite a bit, I mean like waking up at 5 and playing like an hour. And so basically I've logged like 5 hours in the game. That's a lot for me with a kid and all that jazz. But welcome to the stream, guys. Holden, Brian, KC, and the Machine, Carter, Lovejoy, Jerome, Swish, Final Kill. What's up, Star Wars Media?
The Apollo 11 documentary. I thought that was really interesting how it was told as if you were in mission control.
Hamlet, thank you so much for the first super chat of the stream. I appreciate the hell out of that, man. You bring up something that I cannot wait to see. Hamlet, well, let me read it. I just finished the Apollo 11 documentary. I thought it was really interesting how it was told as if you were in mission control. I've heard nothing but good things about the Apollo 11 documentary. I actually I asked my dad if he wanted to go today to go see it because there's one theater showing it around me, and it's like a very, very limited release, and there were only 2 times today that it was showing at this theater. So I don't know if it's going to be showing after this weekend. I'm crossing my fingers that it is. But he wanted to watch golf. He wanted to watch the Players Championship, which I get. You know, that's his Super Bowl. He doesn't care about football. His Super Bowl is golf, the Players Championship. So I didn't go see Apollo 11 today like I wanted to. Hopefully it'll still be showing. But dude, I am so excited. That is my wheelhouse. That is more of a passion to me than Star Wars is, than movies are even. And, you know, space program, Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, you know, Skylab, even shuttle, all of it. Astronomy is my wheelhouse. I love it so much. And I'm very excited. Hamlet, the way I've heard, you know, I'm a big fan of documentaries like In the Shadow of the Moon or even Why We Left Earth, but they have narrations. You know, Gary Sinise narrates When We Left Earth. Did I say Why We Left Earth? Gary Sinise narrates When We Left Earth. And as much as I love that documentary, it's a 5-part series from Discovery. I love stuff like For All Mankind, Hamlet. That's another Apollo documentary. It's very similar the way you just described Apollo 11, because it's all like from the perspective of the astronauts from Mission Control. There's no like narration from now. You know, they don't interview 2019 Buzz Aldrin for his take on things. So anyway, Hamlet, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I cannot wait to see it. I'll probably end up seeing it when it comes out in Blu-ray or 4K or something like that. So yeah, I love it. I love it. But thank you so much for the support tonight, man. I greatly appreciate that. What's the worst movie you've ever seen? Carter. I really don't know, man. There's movies that I really don't like Closer and shit. I don't know. There's some movies that I don't know. What's the worst movie I've ever seen? I really don't know, Carter, and I've forgotten about it. Get it, Marius. It's fantastic. Love it. Man. No, Division 2's a lot of fun. Did you guys play the first one? I've sunk a shitload of hours into the first one. I'm very iffy with my looter shooters. I can take or leave them. The Division, I just love the vibe of it. The environment is so, I love it. I love it. Yeah. It's a really fun game. What's up, Admiral Crust? Star Wars Media, K2. Good to see you guys. I need to reply to your email again, Admiral. I saw it right before me and my wife ate dinner. I checked my email. How would I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? Shinobi. I don't know, man. I've only played like 5 or 6 hours of it, so I can't really give a rating. And I'm not one for like 1 to 10 ratings. You know, it's a little tough to for me to give that kind of rating on stuff for the most part. What's up, Apophix? Good to see you, man. Thank you, Sushi. What are your thoughts on The People vs. George Lucas? It's been a long time since I've seen it, Carter. And I really enjoyed it when it first came out. Do I own that on DVD? I don't think I do, actually. Maybe I do. I'm not too sure. But I always thought it was a pretty even-keeled and level-headed documentary, you know? The documentary, the filmmaker is just interviewing people. It's not like he's trying to put his spin on things. He's just interviewing people that have their own take on things. And I always considered it a pretty level-headed documentary and really well done, you know? Do you think the live-action TV shows are the future of Star Wars? Ooh, that's a really good question. Man. I still think the movies are going to be the main thing, right? For me, Star Wars is always going to be a movie-going experience on a giant-ass screen, a super loud sound system. But the TV shows and the live-action shows, I guess they'll kind of fill in as, I don't know, things in between the giant events. I don't know, I'm trying to think of another, like a comparable franchise that kind of does similar things with giant movies and then like a TV show or something like that. But is there one? Not really. I guess you could say Star Trek with Discovery and the Star Trek movies, but that's not really... I don't know. I guess Marvel. Yeah, that's true, James. Yeah, duh. Marvel, yeah, 100%. Giant movies with TV shows. So that's exactly like it, how it is. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Makes complete sense. I didn't think of it because I've never watched any of those Marvel shows. I take that back. I think I've watched the first, like, 1 or 2 episodes of the Daredevil? Yeah, Daredevil. And I think that is the only Marvel TV stuff I've ever watched. No, I haven't seen Project 4K. Well, I know what it is. And I know they've been working on it for a while, Blackfoot Ferret, but I don't Is it out? Is it completed? I don't know. Keep on chugging craft beer, buddy. I'm drinking a New Belgium Fat Tire right now. Hey, Grado, what are you hoping for most where episode 9 is concerned? John Evans. Satisfaction. That's really about it. I'm not picky. I'll say this. I'm extremely picky, but not in terms of things that I want to happen, right? But I'm basically, all I want is an interesting story with twists and turns that take me off guard and keep me on the edge of my seat. And that's really all that I ask for. What they want to do with characters, what they want to do with locations, what they want to do with the story, I'm along for the ride. I'll either like it or not like it, but there's nothing that I need to happen, you know? Sometimes I see people talk about, like, they have to do this. And I'm like, no. Nope. What music is playing? Bill Bob. It's at the tip top there, now playing. This particular track is from You Lost, a Galactic Delivery is a video game, and this is the soundtrack that he made for it. Let me take a sip. No, I haven't seen Captain Marvel yet. I haven't seen... Well, we watched Black Panther on Netflix a couple weeks ago. And that is the last Marvel movie that I've seen since Deadpool. I always say this. I need to come up with a definitive answer. Which is the newer movie? Ant-Man. First Ant-Man came out in 2015. Deadpool. 2016. Okay, so Deadpool. Before we watched Black Panther a couple weeks ago, Deadpool was the last Marvel movie that I saw.
Boring of a trope in movies.
Game Station 3, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. Give me one sec. Yeah, so we watched what was it, Black Panther a couple weeks ago, so 2019, and then the last Marvel movie that I saw before that was Deadpool, and that was in 2016. So I don't go out of my way to watch them, you know, if I'm in the mood. They're all very, very similar, and I've kind of, you know, I used to get really pumped for them when the whole cinematic universe started, and I'm definitely in the minority here, right? But I'm kind of, I'm a little burned out with it. Yeah. Game Station 3, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Good to see you. Let me minimize this thing real quick so I can actually see questions. Oh, did Civil War come out after Deadpool? Okay. Well, it's a Marvel movie. If that's the case, I did see Civil War, I believe, in the theater. I'm not sure. Game Station 3, thank you so much. Are twist villains too boring of a trope in movies? Boring? I wouldn't say boring.
I don't know.
Well, oh, one sec.
Fly casual.
Is the twist villain thing way too commonplace now?
Game Station 3, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support once again, man. What? Let me see. Is the twist villain thing way too commonplace now? Commonplace. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the support tonight, man. I greatly appreciate that. I guess it depends on what story or movie or something like that you're thinking of, right? I'm trying to think. No, I'm trying to think of the last movie that had like a big twist villain. I'm thinking of like a big blockbuster. Help me out here, guys. But I'm trying to think. You know. I'm trying to think.
Fly casual.
Oh, one sec.
A lot of Disney animated movies do it now.
Oh, is that true? Game Station 3, thank you so much for the super chat once again. I greatly appreciate that. I haven't seen very many Disney animated movies lately, but maybe it's because I'm not like watching a lot of new stuff coming out lately, that I haven't seen this trope kind of surface. It is certainly a trope, though. I think it all depends on how it's executed, you know? The twists and the turns and the villains. If you see it from a mile away, sometimes it's good, you know? Sometimes it's good for the audience to maybe get a little taste, a little, kind of have suspicions early on. So that might build tension in the audience's mind, seeing that the heroes and the main characters don't know that the person that they trust the most is going to stab them in the back, right? I think that's kind of a fun way to do it. Where it becomes a little eye-rolly for me is like when I'm trying to think of an example of this. I know there's dozens. I'm sure there's thousands. But when just like the random person who was there on screen ends up being like the informant or the bad guy, you know what I mean? What's the role models? Role models has kind of a good example of this, well, at least around the campfire when they're like having their little ghost telling or scary story session. One of the camp counselors is like, he tells a ghost. I'm gonna butcher this. I don't even know how to. Why am I even saying this? But he's telling a ghost story and it's a scary story, and then he's like, and it was Jeff, the guy from the beginning of the story who was in the barber shop or some shit like that, and nobody remembered this character. You guys know what I'm talking about? I don't know. It just reminded me of all these like, and it was the butler who you saw on screen for 3 minutes who gave the camera a weird glance. I don't know. But no, I wouldn't say that it's overdone, Game Station. Maybe it's because I haven't really been watching too much lately, but it all depends on how it's executed, you know, I think. And I'm trying to think of a good twist. I don't know. Yeah, that's true, Ethan. The Last Crusade has a pretty good twist with Elsa. Yeah, that's one that I don't think I ever saw coming. I don't think I ever saw that coming. That was a good twist, for sure. For sure. I mean, that's just one of those types of movies that I don't even remember seeing for the first time, you know? It's like I was born into that with that already in my brain as a memory. Yeah. She's had a sort of a German accent, so I saw it coming. Interesting, yeah. I don't know if I would have picked that up when I saw it way back in the day, but... do you think that Luke and Leia being siblings was a bad idea, Lewis? You know, it just... I've always considered it a pretty big afterthought. I don't think that the intention was going into A New Hope to have them be siblings, or even The Empire Strikes Back. You know, for the most part. Well, that's when... whatever. I don't think that was going to be the big... It just seems like one of those kind of things that was just kind of thrown together in the last... I don't know. It's always been a little tacked on to me. And I understand it's... Everybody thinks of them as brother and sister. As do I, just because, you know, it's in the zeitgeist. It's a part of the Star Wars canon and culture. But it's always felt a little wonky to me, you know. I'm new to the stream. What are we talking about? Anything and everything, BNB. Anything and everything. No, I haven't been keeping up with Resistance, Diego. Not because I didn't like it, just because it's a limitation of time thing. And I'm kind of prioritizing the Clone Wars. And you might say, prioritizing? You've uploaded like 1 Clone Wars video in 2 weeks. Yeah, I know. It's a time thing. Yeah. What's up, M98? It was pretty much a last-minute decision, just the same as Vader was in being Luke's father. Yeah, yeah, it makes complete sense. It's always felt weird to me, and just not, yeah, like a last-minute thing. And it kind of started the whole, I don't know, where everybody needs to be connected now. You know what I mean? I don't know. Darth, why do you think I hate... I've never hated George Lucas. I've made dozens of videos saying the complete opposite, man. You're being a silly goose. How can Vader be Luke's father? That's bad writing and lazy. Is Lucas done with Star Wars by this point? Because now the fans want him back to fix everything Disney's doing. I don't yeah, that's definitely a subset of the fandom. But no matter what you do, there's going to be a subset of the fandom that doesn't like the new stuff, right? I do, Micah. Do you think TLJ will become more appreciated with time, like the Empire, like with Empire? I do, Micah. And it's not just with Empire. That's certainly true with Empire, but it's also with the prequels, right? With time, the prequels have now become appreciated as the people that grew up with them are now of age to have a voice and to give their opinions. So yeah, certainly. That's how it'll go. I think that's how Star Wars will go for a very long time. My Star Wars was better. Nuh-uh. Your Star Wars sucks. New Star Wars, horrible. Nuh-uh. My Star Wars, great. Nuh-uh. Any good guesses for the episode 9 title out there? Not that I've heard, man. Loco Pal 5. Not that I've heard. Most of the suggestions kind of seem like fan film titles. You know what I mean? Like they go to Thesaurus and type in Empire, and then they get a word like Empire. Let's try this. Let's do this. Everybody type their own title. I'm gonna go to Thesaurus, and I'm gonna type new. I'm gonna type new because A New Hope. Let's see. Yeah, let's try Hope. Let's try Return. Arrival? Okay, Arrival. There we got our first word. Let's try Empire. Authority? Let's try Strike. Collide. You see what I'm trying to go for, right? Arrival, Collide. There's a lot of, I don't know, Shattered. Or, Brokens. Or Clashes. Or Shards. Or Collide. I don't know. The MCU you consider vastly better than the sequel films? That's very, very interesting to me. I don't have much desire to continuously see every single piece of Marvel content out there. They've just become so formulaic to me. Rise of the Fall. Well, Star Spangled Gaming, you know, I'll disagree with you a little bit there. George Lucas, you know, with the prequels, if he was catering to nostalgia solely, he definitely would not have made the prequels the way they were, right? You know, but a lot of stuff in the EU, yes, yeah, you know, a lot of fan service. I've just never been one for fan service. Kick my fan service in the teeth. I'll spit it out. Whenever I hear the phrase, it's what the fans want, I sit back and I'm like, what the fuck are you what are you even talking about? What are you even talking about? Creators should have absolute freedom. Absolute freedom. I saw something trending on Twitter today where people were like bitching about some creative decision that somebody made. And I'm sitting back like, isn't it the most important thing for like a writer or something like that to have absolute freedom in the direction they want to take things without any outside influence? Like as somebody, if I was writing a novel or something like that or a film, I would not give a single shit what anybody else wanted. Making something, making a film, writing a book or something like that is your own creative expression. And if your only objective is to cater to just the most base desires for what people want to see, then your franchise is dead in the water and not moving forward. It's not maturing. You know. But hey, that's just me. You don't think they pay attention to fans? I think that's very silly to think. What mic do you use? It's a Rode NT1. Rode NT1. Here's what I used to use. You want to hear what I used to use? Boom. This is what I used to use. Is it working actually? Yeah, that's what I used to use. Test. I need a new good Star Wars strategy game. Empire at War was only fun with space battle in the end. You know, I don't know if I ever played the space battles in Empire. Well, I'm sure I did, man. But Sapity, good to see you for one. And oh, one sec.
Fly casual.
Please say Salacious Rum is one sexy half man, half Kowakian monkey lizard. Even if he is drunk all the time, and he is much better looking than his cousin B.
What in the
you can't
hell
touch that little bastard.
Is this Salacious Rum? Are you just trying to get me to say something so you can record it and use it for something? I'm checking out your channel, Salacious Rum. Are you trying to get me to maybe you're gonna upload your first video. I'm thinking, are you trying to get me to record some audio for your shit? Salacious Rum, thank you so much, man. Give me one sec. Where was that? Sapity. Yeah, I'm 100% in agreement. I want a new Star Wars strategy game so bad. Even if, you know, I'm one for diversifying the... Oh, one sec.
Hey, dude. Have you seen the new Love, Death Plus Robots Netflix thing? It's a good statement on why you should give creators full freedom.
The Deadly Llama, thank you so much. No, I've never heard of this. Give me one sec, though. Give me one sec. But Sapity, I want a new Star Wars RTS almost as bad as I want like a free open world Star Wars game. And I am a believer in kind of diversifying the license to make games or stuff or something like that, or maybe employing some, you know, lesser known developers to create some RTS. And the way I've always described it is, you know, low risk, high reward. You make a Star Wars RTS on the cheap with a developer that is, not exactly the most household name, but makes good products on Steam or something like that. Have them put out an RTS. Low risk, high reward. I want a new Star Wars RTS, man. I miss RTSs. I used to play like Company of Heroes constantly, especially the first one. The one that came out in 2007, I played that for years with my friends. The second one was fun, but we didn't really like it as much. And we really haven't played an RTS since then. And I'm craving one, man. I'm craving one. And Salacious Rum, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I'm going to read this. Don't know what it's going to be used for, so if anybody sees this around the internet, say, hey, the robot read it. And hello, Greedo read it too. Salacious Rum says, please say, Salacious Rum is one sexy half man, half Kowakian? Is that his real species? Let's see. I've never known this, if that's the case. Kowakian monkey lizard. Ah! Alright. Kowakian monkey lizard. Even if he is drunk all the time, and he is much better looking than his cousin, B-Crumb. You can't trust that little bastard. Alright. I've actually never looked up... Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Salacious Rum. I've never known the species that he was. I'm gonna read this. Kowakian monkey lizards, also known as Kowak. Am I saying that right? Nobody knows. Sometimes referred to as monkeys, were a race of non-sentient reptilian creatures often used by members of the underworld as pets. Owners of Kowakians included Jabba, Hondo, Emil. They were capable of using weapons such as a blaster and, in the case of Pick Muck, a pirate tank. They were related to much... let's see. Salacious B. Crumb. Salacious B. Crumb. Okay. Oh, dude. Salacious Rum. If there is an actual Wikipedia entry for Salacious Rum, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. No, there's not. There's not. But Salacious Rum, thank you so much for that super chat and channel support, and actually give me a little bit of Star Wars knowledge there. What noise was that? I didn't hear anything. Maybe it was an advertisement that popped up on the website that I was on? I don't know. Alright, let's see. And Deadly Llama, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Hey, dude, have you seen the new Love, Death plus Robots Netflix thing? It's a good statement on why you should give creators full freedom. First of all, Deadly Llama, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support tonight on this Sunday night. Love, Death, and Robots. I have never heard of this. Alright, I'm a collection of animated short stories in various genres, including science fiction, fantasy, horror, and comedy. Interesting. Deadly Llama. I'm looking this up right now. Love, Death, and Robots. David... Oh, that's not it. Collection of animated shorts. Oh, there's like barely... Wait, is there just one... Oh, there's one season. Let's see. 3 robot... So are they... Oh, they're all different animation styles, even. Right? Or am I looking at... Oh, yeah, they are. Interesting. I've never heard of this, Deadly Llama. Very interesting. There's a lot of episodes. All different people. There are a lot of space. This, yeah, this looks really cool. Lucky 13. Wait, is that the girl from Orange is the New Black? It looks just like her. Yeah. Yeah. Samira Wiley. I don't think I've ever known her name. Huh. Oh yeah, she's in Handmaid's Tale too. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to check this out. I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. I've never heard of it. In an underground world. Long after the fall of humanity, 3 robots embark on a sightseeing tour of a post-apocalyptic city. And Deadly Llama, that sounds awesome. The first description of the episode that I just read. That sounds awesome. Let me read that again. Long after the fall of humanity, 3 robots embark on a sightseeing tour of a post-apocalyptic city. And they're just like leaning over a rail, looking out. That's a really cool concept for a little episode of an animated show. That's a really cool concept. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, man. I'm gonna have to check that out. Maybe I'll watch that episode when I feed my daughter tomorrow. I appreciate that, man. It's one of my favorite episodes. This one is my... Oh, that is your favorite episode? Nice. I love the concept of that. That's really cool. That's really cool. Unlimited time. Interesting. But I appreciate that, man. I'm excited to check that out. Why Teespring over TeePublic? I have both. Teespring just allows YouTube stuff. So, like, YouTube and Teespring have a partnership. So, Teespring can advertise merch underneath videos and stuff like that. TeePublic, that's just my own personal store. I have both. Have you ever tried Destiny? Gassy Royal Nova. Yep, I've tried... I played both of them, actually. Oh, I take that back. Well, it depends. So the first Destiny, I played it on the Xbox One S. I borrowed my buddy's disc. This is like, you might be surprised, but when this was not that long ago, a couple of years ago, and I didn't know what the hell Destiny was. I thought it was primarily like a single-player shooter. I didn't know what it was. It'd been out for a long time, for whatever reason, it passed me by. I had no desire to play it, and he let me borrow the disc, and I just played through the campaign. I was like, "That's it." And then he was like, "It's a big, like, online shooter. You gotta go online and play." I was like, whatever. And then the second Destiny, I played a lot of. I don't know how many hours I logged. Not too many. But I just love the atmosphere of the Destiny games. They're so just kind of, I don't know. I hate myself for liking them so much, because they're so just shallow. They're the most shallow story-wise games, and they're just, hey, run here, shoot these enemies, get the purple gear. Oh, you leveled up. Cool. Now all your gear is useless. Now go search for that newer, better purple gear, you idiot. Oh, you leveled up again. Now all your shit sucks. Now, hey, run over to this landmark and kill all the enemies and get another purple chest piece, you fucking rabbit chasing after a carrot.
Fly casual.
Ollie, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. It's good to see you. Little heart there, little silent support. I greatly appreciate that, man. I'm trying to catch up on some DMs. I will absolutely. I saw that you responded, so I will absolutely get back to you on that, man. But I appreciate you. Hope everything's going well. I'm craving a little bit of PUBG or something like that. Are a lot of people still playing PUBG? It's kind of interesting to see games come and go, and while you're like still into them, and just fades out, and then you don't have much of a desire to play Apex or Fortnite or Call of Duty Battle Royale or Counter-Strike Battle Royale, and you just waiting for the Battlefield 5 Battle Royale. What's it called? Firewall? Is that what it's called? I think. Yeah, appreciate that, Ollie. Do you think that Star Wars should have George Lucas cameos like Marvel has Stanley? Bowie, no, you know, I think it's quite a bit different, you know. No, I don't think so. George Lucas is already Papanoidia? Is that how you say that? Papanoidia? I think. Yeah, well, we were talking about the Division, or no, Destiny rather, and how, you know, like I said, it just always feels like that dangling carrot, right? You need that purple gear, you level up, all your shit's worthless now, you gotta go get better gear, better. It's like it's a treadmill, right? You're running on a treadmill and you're always staying in the same spot and nothing really matters. Everybody's just the same shit, and you just, it's the illusion of variation, right? It's the illusion of variation. But goddamn, it's fun. It's almost like a slot machine level fun, right? I don't know. I made that looter shooter video a couple weeks ago, yeah. But the Division 2 is, dude, it's fun, man. I just love the atmosphere. I played a lot of the Division 1, but I'm really enjoying the second one, for sure. Greedo, are you aware of those leaked Episode 9 images lurking around? Not to spoil anything, just want Tidywire, I think somebody's mentioned them to me on in the chat before. I think there was something with like a horse. I don't know. Creature. Yeah, if that's what it is, I saw it on Twitter a while ago. If not, yeah, I'm not one to seek all that kind of stuff out, you know. So I just kind of ignore it. Hey, Greedo, if you could pop into mod chat later on Discord for a bit, we'd appreciate it. It'd probably have to be tomorrow night. Me and my wife are gonna watch the Marvelous Mrs. Maisie. Is that how do you? I can't remember what it's called. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. That's what it is. Really, we've watched 2 episodes. Really like it. Watched it last night. But yeah, I will be doing a Battlefield stream or Battlefront stream tomorrow, 6 foot. So I'll hop on right after that if that's cool. If you guys will be on. And if you need anything, shoot me a DM. I'll check it while I'm sitting on the couch. I need to. Maybe I'll go through my DMs tonight while I'm laying in bed. It is fucking hot in here. Nope. I won't be at Celebration. I got the invite. I declined because it is my daughter's first birthday, and I don't want to. I don't want to miss that. I would much rather play in the park with her, have some balloons, my wife is going to make a cake for her, like a small cake. I didn't even know this was a thing until my friends and people around me started having kids, but I guess it's probably a new thing, right? A smash cake, where it's just a little cake, and then your kid just starts punching it and eating it by the handfuls.
Iron Maiden is my fab band. Megadeth and Van Halen are also 2 of my fab bands. What are your thoughts on them?
Clark Herman, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Good to see ya. Iron Maiden is my favorite band. Megadeth and Van Halen are also 2 of my favorite bands. What are your thoughts on them? I've never gotten into any of them. I'm trying to think. Like Iron Maiden, nah, not really. Megadeth, no. Van Halen, just basic radio hits. I think, for me, my dad grew up in Detroit. He is about to be 69 years old. I grew up listening to like Bob Seger, a lot of Motown. I grew up listening to a lot of Beatles, just stuff that was a little earlier than Iron Maiden, Megadeth, and Van Halen. So it's kind of like it's interesting with my wife, right? My wife's dad is younger by maybe like 15 years than my dad. So he is into all that stuff, Van Halen, all of that kind of generation stuff, AC/DC, that time period. So I never got into it. I was definitely listening to a lot of older stuff. Gladys Knight and the Pips, a lot of Motown stuff, a lot of Beach Boys, Santana, not Santana, a little bit of Santana. Why can't I think of their name? They're actually, shit, what is their, let me see. I typed Santa. God, what is their name? Well, I don't know. So yeah, it's kind of Actually, Allman Brothers was my first concert. Greg Allman and Friends. That was my first concert ever. So that's kind of like the time period, My dad grew up in Detroit. Listened to a lot of shit like that. Allman Brothers, Seeger, all that kind of stuff. He actually saw the Beatles in concert. He said he could barely hear the band because all the screaming. Kind of fun. But Clark, I appreciate that, man, and it's just kind of interesting how a lot of these giant bands have always passed me by. I've never really been into that kind of stuff either, for whatever reason. I don't know. But I appreciate that channel support tonight, man. I always enjoy these like random questions and topics, Clark, so I appreciate that, man. Greedo, what are some of your other hobbies outside of Star Wars? I love, photography. I'm always taking pictures. I'm really big into astronomy and science and space exploration and stuff like that. Me and my wife try to go hiking quite a bit. We both have a kayak, so we try to kayak as much as possible, although that is difficult nowadays with a kid, having to find a babysitter and stuff like that. So yeah, we enjoy camping, kayaking, hiking. I like playing video games, taking pictures, watching movies, and reading science stuff. That's kind of my wheelhouse. What is the circumference of your ankles? I'll get back to you on that, man. Fucking weirdo. Do you think new movies will be announced at Celebration? New movies? You know, I don't know. I would say that we might get a little bit more information about, like, the Rian Johnson trilogy or the D.B. Weiss and Cooper. Is it Cooper? Cooper, right? D.B. Weiss and... I can never remember their names. Benioff. Why was I thinking Cooper? I don't know. Maybe a little bit more information on that. If I had to guess, probably not, but I'm kind of crossing my fingers that we do have more info on that. And, you know, I doubt we'll get any new movie announcements. Maybe, though. Maybe, though. Would you ever go to E3? Yeah, 100%. 100%. I was invited to EA Play last year. I declined that because we couldn't find anybody to watch my daughter, you know, and I couldn't. It's just difficult. It's difficult with a baby, especially when EA Play was last year. That was in June, right? So she was only 2 months old, and I didn't want to leave. But next year, I'm crossing my fingers that'll come up again, and I'll be able to go. It'll be fun. Yep, I saw Looper when it came out. Loved it. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you said that. Romulo? I apologize for butchering your name. I screw up everyone's name. But that's I appreciate you saying that. That's cool. Oh, nice. You're going to Moab in 2 weeks, Cole. That I'm pretty envious of that of your travels. Let me see. Where did we eat? You've been there. Yeah. Let's see. Or have you? Have we talked about Moab before? Moab is awesome because it's so close to Canyonlands and Arches. I live a few hours north of here. There you go. Okay. Yeah, it's so close to I mean, you're around all that stuff, but it's so close to Arches and Canyonlands that it was perfect. We parked our RV at a RV park right between both of them, so it was just easy access to both, you know. We're doing a climb called Ancient Art. Ooh, ancient. Let's see. Ancient Art Moab. Oh. Dude, that looks badass. That's really cool. Ancient Art Stolen Chimney. That's really cool, man. I'd love to try. I've never climbed like that. I've never done any kind of rock climbing like that. It'd be fun. That looks really neat, though. Envious, man. Have a blast. Have a blast. Yeah, maybe in the future. Maybe in the future you'll have to show me the ropes. If we ever come back out there. Next time I'm out there, my daughter's probably going to be like 12 or 13. So 12 or 13 years from now, when we'll take her and she can appreciate it and she can go on hikes and, you know what I mean? Be a fun family road trip like me and my wife did 2 years ago, to the day almost, which is crazy. Favorite alcoholic drink? I am running out of things to ask here, George. Beer is my go-to. I prefer stouts or brown ales. Well, I take that back. I've become less picky the older I get. I used to just like exclusively drink stouts and stuff like that. And that was like maybe when I was first 21. I just loved the darkest of the darker imperial stouts and whatnot. But lately I've been really into gozas, sour beers. I think that's kind of just the trend right now, but they're so goddamn delicious. And if I'm not doing beer, I usually just do like scotch or whiskey on the rocks. The Real Noah, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for the side. Oh, Real Noah's right there. Hi, Greedo, love your channel. Been a watcher since 2014, from the Star Wars Changes vids to your Clone Wars reviews. Keep doing you, man. Also, aside from Return of the Jedi, what's your next favorite lightsaber fight? Real Noah, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. And being a viewer all these years, it blows my mind how long this channel's been around, huh? Since, oh, one sec.
Love how positive you are in the content. It's always an inspiration.
Cole, thank you so much, man. Give me one sec. Give me one sec. But yeah, Real Noah, it's just hard to believe, right? I started this thing in 2011. That's just stupid how long that is. That's almost a decade, dude. I've been making silly YouTube videos for almost a decade. That's just hard to believe. Hard to believe. But I appreciate that, man. What's my next favorite lightsaber fight? The Empire Strikes Back lightsaber fight, for sure, is my second favorite. I actually have a top 5 video that I wrote and recorded that I'll probably put out on Sunday. And it's actually my top 5 favorite lightsaber fights. And it is sure to turn a few heads. It is sure to get a few people going, "You're an idiot." Which I love. That's fuel. That is fuel. But I appreciate that, Noah. Thank you so much for tuning in all these years, man. And Cole Schreiber, as always, love how positive you are and the content. It's always an inspiration. Well, I appreciate you saying that. Whenever I see anything outdoorsy, or whenever I, you know, when I was watching, why can't I think of it? I almost said Falling Down. That is certainly not the name of the documentary. You know, the Honnold movie. Whenever I see anything like that, it's always in my recommendations on YouTube. I'm always watching like it's called Free Solo. Yeah, I'm always watching that stuff. That's inspirational, Cole. That is the inspiration. Keep doing what you do, man. And whenever I hear what you're doing on these chats, I'm always just like, God damn, that is a guy that's living. That is a guy. I wish more people did that. Well, maybe not. Maybe I don't, because then your routes and your spots would be pretty clustered and cluttered with folks. So maybe not. But I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And keep kicking that ass. That's, you know, I've always thought, you know, Cole, the older my daughter gets, and I think about, you know, what my hopes and dreams are for her. Oh, one sec.
I often hate being a Star Wars fan because of the drama. But your channel and your community remind me there is still fun to be had. Thanks, everyone. Tilda.
Tilda, I almost said, oh, thank you, Tilda. Tidywire, thank you so much, man. That is so nice. Sorry, guys, I got the flims. Give me one sec, Tidywire. But Cole, I've thought, like, for a while, you know, about my daughter's, what I hope and dream for her. All I hope for is that she finds happiness in her life. And a part of me is like, I want her to go out and explore and don't settle. You know, I want her to. I don't want to ever hold her back on doing these crazy fun trips with her friends, or giant road trips and exploring and climbing like you do, Cole. That kind of stuff, you know. Go on these grand adventures. Don't just stay home and twiddle your thumbs, right? Explore. And then I'm really hoping to ingrain that into her. Never feel scared to do that, you know, or never feel like she would ever disappoint me or her mom or for doing that, because, like, you know, I just want her to know that she is her own person, And I really want her to explore the world, man. That's like really one of my only wishes. Just see it. Explore it, you know. But I appreciate that, Cole. And Tidywire, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I often hate being a Star Wars fan because of the drama, but your channel and your community remind me there is still fun to be had. Thanks, everyone. Well, I appreciate that, Tidy. That's one of the nicest things that anybody said about this silly old channel. That really means a lot. And, you know, the drama, Tidy, I've found that I used to get really into the mud on Twitter and stuff, like, not necessarily replying to everything, because long ago I decided, yeah, no, there's just some people it's not about a conversation, it's about just trying to convince you that you're wrong, and that's just silly. That's not a way to come at people, right? And so long ago I decided to just kind of not really respond to just shittiness. You know, whenever I see the Star Wars Twitter drama, it's everybody's just being shitty to each other, and everybody thinks they're some, like, they're on some righteous crusade, and everybody else is evil, and their group is this heavenly and perfect and fighting for a great cause. And it's just all so gross to me. Everybody is just like slinging shit and being really just shitty to one another. So I've just chose to ignore it. I just, you know, I'll talk to anybody that wants to, and just, you know, as long as you're not a shitbag. Yeah, I just ignore the drama. Sometimes I'll glance at it and be like, ah, okay, people are silly, and then I'll just continue enjoying my life. But there's a lot of fun to be had, Tidy. There's a lot of fun Star Wars stuff coming. You know, Celebration is good. I just feel like this Celebration is going to be a celebration that shows us more what's coming in Star Wars than any other celebration, right? We got TV shows, we got books, we got movies, we got more Star Wars movies that aren't episodic films. You know what I mean? Like other trilogies. This Star Wars celebration is probably just going to be Star Wars overload. We got new games. Like Fallen Order is going to be shown, but I almost have a guaranteed feeling that maybe this is optimistic thinking. Maybe this is just me with blinders on, but I'm crossing my fingers that we have more Star Wars games announced at Celebration, you know? But yeah. But Tidy, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words. Is Greedo's thumb ever going to stop tapping?
Fly casual.
Maybe I'll...
Hello there. Nothing to say. Here's some money. Spend it well. Have a good night. Keep kicking,
Ryan, I love how the robot read that. Have a good night. Did I just hear... Did everybody hear that? Or is that just me? That's funny. Ryan Harp, thank you so much, man. Good to see you. Hello there. Nothing to say. Here's some money. Spend it well. Have a good night. Keep kicking ass. Well, I appreciate that, Ryan. I'm going to tell you right now that is going to go towards my daughter's birthday. So I appreciate that, Ryan. Her birthday's in a month. Almost to the day. And we're having a little bash. Nothing too crazy. Some people go overboard, but something a little small at our house. Friends and family coming in town. And we're just gonna... Yeah, it'll be fun. But Ryan, thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that. What should I get her? Something Star Wars. They don't make very many... I don't know if you know this, Ryan, but they don't make very many Star Wars, like, baby stuff. Which is fine. But when she was first born, I was like, oh, I'm going to look for a Chewbacca plush doll or something like that. They do sell some. They're pretty goddamn expensive. And most of them are like ages 3+. So, you know, those warnings are on there for a reason. I recognize that if I'm sitting next to her, it's fine, completely fine. But yeah, I did the other day, I was folding clothes, and I have a baby gate now, so this is not going to happen again. But for like maybe 10 seconds, I was like stacking clothes, not looking at her, like she was out of my periphery. And then I hear a crash, and I look over, and she, in those 10 seconds, had basically crawled across my kitchen and knocked over the cat's water bowl and just fucking water was everywhere. So yeah, I don't want to give her a 3+ toy at 1 year old and me look away for 10 seconds and then Chewbacca's button eyeball come off and go in her mouth, you know what I mean? But yeah. But anyway, Ryan, that went off the rails there. Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. Baby thermal detonator. I'm more excited for Fallen Order than I am anything else. Step Kick King. You know, I'm kind of the same way at the moment because step kicking, especially just that we're talking about Celebration right now. I think Fallen Order is the thing that I'm most excited to see at Celebration because here's my logic. In the grand scheme of things, I am more excited to watch Episode 9 than anything else, I think. But in terms of Celebration, we kind of know what Episode 9 is going to look like, right? It's going to look like a Star Wars movie. We have Rey, Finn, Poe, Kylo. We're going to get a trailer. We kind of know what's coming. Not in terms of story, but you know what I mean. We kind of know Episode 9's there. We know what it's going to look like. Fallen Order is just a complete mystery. Don't know what it looks like. Don't know how it's going to play. Don't know what it's going to be. And for that kind of mystery, the complete, just the revelation that's about to come, everything's going to be revealed at Celebration about Fallen Order. That is why I think it's the thing that I'm most excited to see at Celebration, you know. But yeah, I'm in agreement. Gridio, you should try to find some of those small plush. They don't have any additional parts. iSewn independent. They definitely do have some. Yeah, I know exactly what the ones you're talking about are, I believe. The little bits, or that what they're called? Lil bits? Lil bit dolls? Little bitties or little bit? What are they called? Little bits? Why do I keep saying little bits? You just want me to... Is that little bits? Star Wars doll. I don't know what they're called. Somebody out there knows. Is that what they're called? I've seen them before. I don't know. I really don't know. What are they called? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I should get some, huh? Should get some. Any plans to introduce your daughter to Star Wars? Mine equals show them Clone Wars episodes and parts in the Phantom Menace where there isn't any Obi or any. Buy them toys. Then when 12, show OTPT and Clone Wars. Lorone? Did I say that correctly? You know, I'm probably just going to end up showing her... see, I saw the original trilogy probably when I was like 3 years old was the first time I saw it. Maybe 2. I have no memories before Star Wars, you know? It's just been a part of my life, my entire life. So I'm going to show her the original trilogy first. I kind of like the idea of showing her Star Wars as it existed, you know? Show her the first movie that started everything. I understand why people would watch them chronologically, I guess. But I think it's more interesting watching the original trilogy, having these kind of questions. I've always considered it the question and the prequels are the answer to the question. The prequels are a prequel for a reason, right? You can watch the original trilogy first, and then a lot of the backstory is answered. And backstory is often not necessary. The original trilogy stands on its own. But yeah, I'm just gonna show her Star Wars in the release order. I think that, you know, the way the world has seen them, and maybe, you know, maybe 50 years from now that will not be the case because people will just be used to Star Wars, and all the people that, like me, who grew up watching them as they came out will be dead, and nobody will give a shit how you watch them. They'll just go, yeah, oh yeah, you watch episode 1 first and then you watch episode 2. It's probably only my generation and older that would say, yeah, watch them in release order. Luke Fish, did you go to college? And if so, What did you major? So it's a little complicated. Graduated from high school in 2004. Tried college for a couple of years. Just kept fucking off and not caring. Being an idiot, basically. And then in 2007, I enlisted in the military. Spent 4 years in the military. Got out. Started going back to school using the GI Bill. And I've just been taking my time, working a little bit at different jobs, doing freelance gigs for graphic design and all that kind of stuff. And then started the channel. So I don't have... I was majoring in graphic design after the military. I'd only have like half a year left. I just need to go finish it. I've just, you know, with a kid now and just time. It's difficult. But before the military, I was majoring in computer animation, and I was working in Maya a lot with NURBS. You remember? Well, I don't even know. Are NURBS even a thing now? Probably not. They were probably just a trend. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know anything about that world nowadays. That was... Shit, that was 13 years ago. That's insane to think. 13 years ago. 14, 13 years ago around then. So, yeah. Yeah, graphic design has kind of always been my kind of focus. But it's not really a necessity, you know. It's something that you can self-teach. And my goal, when I do finish my degree... I only have like maybe a half year left, like I said, is to become like a high school computer art teacher. I think that would be a really fun job. I had a really good high school computer art teacher when I was in high school. This was from I had him in 2002 and 2003 and 2004, and he was at the time, which is crazy for me to think about. At the time, he was teaching us, me and my buddies. We would take his class all the time. He was only 23 and 24 when he was teaching that class. Can you believe that? I just, like, thinking back, I thought he was like a grown-up. Now I look at 23 and 24-year-olds and I'm like, that's just crazy, man. But yeah. Ben, I do freelance stuff. Yep. It's rare. It's rare nowadays. I don't promote anything. It's just a few, like, clients that I just kind of been working with for a while that, you know, on and off. And I kind of dipped down. I've, like, kind of pushed some stuff down after my daughter was born, just because it's kind of hard to fulfill project promises and deadlines and stuff like that, you know? But, yeah. All right, guys. I got to get going. I'm just burning up in this room. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with me for a little over an hour tonight. Yeah, I like doing these little hangouts. Let's see, tomorrow will be a... What is tomorrow, Monday? Tomorrow will be a Battlefield or Battlefront stream. And then Tuesday, I'll do a KOTOR stream. How about that? Monday, Battlefield. Tuesday, KOTOR. And then we'll see what happens from there. But, can't wait for your next Clone Wars review. Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch a couple episodes this week and get a couple videos done for the Clone Wars and get those scheduled for the weekend. That's kind of my goal. That'll be my goal. But all right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me run down the list here. Ryan Harp, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Tidywire, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Cole Schreiber, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Make sure that rope is tight, my friend. The Real Noah, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Clark Herman, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Ollie, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Deadly Llama, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Salacious Rum, thank you for the super chat and channel support. And the silliness. Game Station 3, thank you for the super chat and channel support. And Hamlet, thank you for the super chat and channel support. All right, guys. Yep, it is time to watch a little bit of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Is that what it's called? It's a good show. I've really enjoyed it so far. 2 episodes in. Me and my wife, 2 episodes in. It's fun. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Same time. Same place. But with video games. All right. See ya.